Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sasi Kumar. Thank you. And firstly, I want to thank Dr. Murphy and then Dr. Charles Teschner for giving me an opportunity to be in this project. So our research project is a proposal to measure the size of software health methods. So I'm going to talk about what a software matrix is, what a function and non-functional metrics are, and the current gap in software non-functional metrics. And then I'm going to talk about the research design that we have proposed, and I'm going to talk about how we are going to collect the data, how we are going to analyze it, and then how we are going to implement the findings. So why do we need a software matrix? A software matrix, it is needed by software project manager to uh, to forecast the cost of his software and the work effort that is put in to develop this software. So for every software, there are two broad types of features. The first feature is software data processing functionality. This is represented by the flow and storage of data in the system. So one standard unit of data processing capacity, it is called as function point metric. Function point metric, it's now a well-developed science. It is supported by many organizations, the ISO, International Organization for Standards, International Trade Association, professional certification programs, functional point management consulting companies, and then international data repository. So, and ISO, it has three brands of function points. Those are Cosmic, IFPUG, and NESMA. So which brand are we following? We are following IFPUG. Why are we following IFPUG? The answer is it's the largest metric system in the world, and it has many companies like the Department of Defense. It's the part of IFPUG committee, the HP, IGATE, Australian government. They are all part of IFPUG. And then it has the function point methodology of IFPUG is the most dominant in the world, and it has a certain feature that is called SNAP. I'm going to talk about SNAP little bit later. IFPUG, it has a it has an assessment manual which gives the guidelines for counting the function points in the software. In 2015 January, IFPUG and Marymount University has a formal academic partnership. I'm going to talk about it in the coming slides. So the volume of data processing capacity is the function size that I have already said. The function size, it correlates with the work effort and the time taken to develop this software. But in every software, there are other features which doesn't directly involve the data flow and the storage of the data. So this second feature, it is called the non-function size. In January 2013, IFPUG has released a beta testing of SNAP. SNAP, it's called Software Non-Functional Assessment Process. So under SNAP, we have 14 categories which are divided into 4 divisions. And our main focus is on health methods category. SNAP points, they are just counted like the function points. It has a manual, it's called Assessment Practice Manual. So we use the Assessment Practice Manual, we then count the SNAP counting from the software and then categorize them into all the categories. We invent them, and then we go through the manual for giving them the points. Here is an example how we actually do it. So we have all the categories here, then we give all the points, all the SNAP points there. And in here you can see the total count of the SNAP points is 720. So for every software, we need function points and the non-function points. The function points, it's the major cost for a software company, software developing. But even SNAP, it has a cost. So we should include the total cost to get the exact figure of how much the software actually costs. So here is an example. Let's say a software has 1539 function points and 632 SNAP points. It has a cost per function point. It is $825. We are looking around, the software cost will be around $1,373,286. So here you can see the cost breakup. There is non-functional cost breakup and the functional cost. The functional cost, that's the major cost. And then we derive the total cost for the software by combining the non-function and the functional cost of this software. So SNAP is very new. So there has been a beta testing that is released by the IFPUG committee in 2012. The correlation of this SNAP point to the work effort was 0.89. But there was a problem in this correlation. The health methods, they didn't correlate with the work efforts to develop the software. So this is where we come in. In 2015, as I said, the Marymount and IFPUG has joined hands to do research on the help methods. So our research is it's based on a proposal on how to measure these help methods in a software. So how are we going to do that? So our help method model, it has measured three main concepts. Those are data element types, external inquiry, and the help item itself. So for example, let's take an input screen here. Let's say a student requires to register for his summer courses. So these are the minimum amounts of input data that he needs to put in to register for a course. In here you can see there are 14 inputs. So the first one is last name, first name, MI, residence address, building, room, telephone, the course, of course, the address, street, city, state, zip. So all these are, there are 12 inputs here. And then we need, after inputting the data, we need to command the system to take in the input. So we need the input here. And then if bug requires, if there is an error message in a software input, if bug requires us to count that as an one DET. So in this specific input, there are 14 DETs. Coming to external inquiry. And external inquiry, it's a function point process where the user reads or retrieves data from a catalog. Let's take an example where a student goes to a library. He wants to retrieve data on baseball. So he goes to the website, in the search he types baseball. So that is an external inquiry. Now the system, it retrieves data from the database. It's only a read-only retrieval. And then this data, it is the data that is retrieved, it's the links on, it's books on baseball. So let's the IFPUG, it doesn't consider the media type of the input that is given by the software, the search engine. Let's say the data. Let's say the data it is sent in an email to the student, or it's given in a printout form, or whether it's given in a in one input screen or the data given in the multiple input screens, it doesn't matter. So IFPUG doesn't consider the media type of the data. It only considers the input that is given for the search engine. So that's external inquiry. Coming to the third concept, that's the help item. So we are going to propose a new definition for a help item in a software. And help item is a form of non-functional query, providing information to the users about the meaning or use of logical group of DETs. So this logical group of DETs, it can be either functional or non-functional. And then help item may also address the meaning or the use of software or the software as a whole. So here are some of the examples of help items. Help as a meaning of an input screen, help as a meaning of an algorithm, help as a meaning of report. And the one thing we added in the help item, it's a frequently asked questions. And we are going to propose that each frequently asked question should be counted as one single DET. So coming to our proposed research design, we are going to send out a survey to software developing companies. So once they receive the questionnaire, they are going to select 5 unique help items that they have developed in their software. They are going to give a number of DETs that has taken for them to develop this software, the help item in their software, and then the minutes that have required for them to develop this thing. So we are going to get a correlation between the work effort and the number of DETs that they have developed for the software. So once they fill the survey, they are going to email it to the IFPUG committee. The IFPUG committee, it's the home office there. So they are going to remove the name of the company. It's for the confidentiality. They are going to put an ID number for this survey, and then they are going to send it to the non-functional sizing standards committee. So once the non-functional functional sizing standards committee, in this case it's Marymount University. So once they receive this survey, the data from the IFPUG home office, we are going to conduct a statistical analysis on these surveys. We are going to plot the size of help methods on the x-axis, and then we are going to plot the work effort on the y-axis. Here is a screen where you can see how we are going to do the statistical analysis. On x-axis, here are the DETs for the help items, On the y-axis, there are work efforts. So all these blue points, these are the survey results. Those are the data. Then we are going to run a regression analysis on this data. So once we get a statistically significant results, then we are going to send these results to IFPUG board. The IFPUG board of directors, they need to accept these results. Once they accept these statistical results, they are going to put it in the SNAP assessment manual. So once this standard is put into the SNAP assessment manual, this is used by all the companies for counting their SNAP points, and they are going to derive the cost of their software more better than previously. So that's it. Any questions? Yeah, sure. So a non-function point, it can be like an help item. In a software, we have help. It doesn't relate with the data storage or the flow of data. It is just retrieving the data from already inbuilt data. So a help item can be a non-function point.